Hello everyone, welcome back to the Doctor's Podcast Health Tips Weekly, episode 25. This episode, we'll be talking about alcohol and hangovers. Have you heard of a hangover? Or have you had a really bad hangover? Let's find out more about it today. Hangover generally occurs in the morning after drinking a generous amount of alcohol the night before. It seems to be our body's way of reminding us just how dangerous overindulgence can be. And no, hangover does not feel good. There are a few symptoms generally associated with hangover, and they include fatigue and weakness. This is a result of a disrupted sleep, dehydration, and low blood sugar caused by alcohol. A person could also be tormented by thirst and headaches during a hangover. Alongside with fatigue, these are signs of a mild dehydration. This is because alcohol has the ability to increase one's urination, causing an excess loss of fluid. Also, alcohol directly irritates the lining of our stomach and causes an increase in acid release. This leads to nausea and stomach pain. A person experiencing a hangover could also be highly anxious and irritable. These are also known as a mini withdrawal. While it's true that a person may feel calmer or more relaxed while drinking, but once the buzz wears off, people can feel more restless and anxious than before they drank. Sweating, muscle aches, vertigo, sensitivity to light and sound, and an increase in blood pressure are also symptoms associated with hangover. Very interestingly, a hangover can vary from person to person. This is because our genetic factors play a major role in the breakdown of alcohol. No matter which types of alcoholic beverages we consume, they all contain varying contents of ethanol and a very small amount of methanol. Fun fact, methanol is highly toxic, and the culprit that causes hangover is ethanol. While drinking, this ethanol will actually be metabolized and then be excreted in the form of urine. This is when your hangover symptoms slowly improve. The metabolism of ethanol is much more complex than it sounds. It involves multiple enzymes and are closely linked to our genetic makeup. Many people of the Asiatic origin are haunted by severe facial flushing. This is because nature has dealt them with a very slow metabolism of ethanol. And this is where the phenomenon Asian flush comes from. And now, we know that genetic factor is one of the reasons why we experience hangover differently and have maybe a lower or a higher tolerance towards alcohol compared to our friends. Hangover is awful, but we hope these few tips can help you recover from a hangover faster. Tip number 1. Drink plenty of fluids. As mentioned, alcohol induces mild dehydration, so if your hangover symptoms include diarrhea, sweating, or vomiting, you may be even more dehydrated. Although nausea can make it difficult to get anything down, even just a few sips of water might help with your hangover. Tip number 2. Eat some carbohydrates. Drinking may lower our blood sugar levels, so theoretically, some of the fatigue and headaches of a hangover may be from a brain working without enough of its main fuel. And also, many people forget to eat when they drink, which further lowers their blood sugar. Toast and juices are great alternatives to gently nudge your sugar levels back to normal. Moving on, tip number 3. Take some painkillers, but not paracetamol. Aspirin, ibuprofen, and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, also known as NSAIDs, may help with the headache and overall achy feelings. NSAIDs, like aspirin and ibuprofen, may irritate a stomach already irritated by alcohol, so do be cautious when taking these medications before or after consuming alcohol. And remember, don't take paracetamol or what we all know as Panadol with alcohol. This is because if alcohol is still lingering in our system, it may be harmful towards our liver. And now, tip number 4. Take vitamin B and zinc supplements. A study conducted in the year 2019 suggests that social drinkers who have a higher dietary intake of vitamin B3 and zinc report significantly less severe hangovers. And now, the final tip of the day. Just don't drink excessively. This is a no-brainer. Ultimately, the only surefire remedy for a hangover is to not drink excessively. And that's it for this week's episode. If you have any questions related to your health, you can consult our professional doctors and healthcare professionals on Doc2Us. Doc2Us is a mobile application that allows you to talk to a doctor or any healthcare professionals via text chat at any time and from anywhere. For better communication, you can even send our online doctor images or voice messages related to your medical inquiry. Download Doc2Us app on Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and Huawei App Gallery, or use our web chat at web.doc2us.com. Doc2Us is not for medical emergencies. In the event of severe medical conditions, please call 999. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Disclaimer: as a service to our users and general public, Doc2Us provides health education contents. Please note the date of last publication on all podcast episodes. No content in this podcast, regardless of date, should ever be used as a substitute for direct medical advice from a doctor or other qualified clinicians.